Hey guys, what's going on today? My name is Infinity and I'll be taking you through the amateur roundup, the second one I'm ever going to do. So just want to say before I get into the video again, I appreciate the support on all my videos thus far on this channel. Again, I am doing it for the amateur scene to make sure that everyone who deserves to get the spotlight is going to do so. So this is going to be the second amateur roundup. You can see in the top right, I'm getting that right because I've got a flip camera. Top right hand corner, at the very least to me, is going to be what's going to be on this week. So we're talking about Blacklaw winning the Gamer G Open, Amsterdam Lions winning the Red Bull Strider Champions. We've got a lot of Rostermania to be talking about, and of course a quick update on what's going on in the Esports Universe Summer Cup, as well as the CWL Season 3 update. So don't go anywhere, guys. We've got a lot of news to get through, so let's get right into it. Kicking off this week's amateur roundup, we have the Gamer G Open, a Spanish LAN event with 8 Spanish teams and a €3,000 prize pool held from the 21st to the 23rd of June. Many teams attended, many actually teams that you may know, including Arcanos Esports Club and Efficiency Team, but only one team could come out on top, and this time around it was of course Blacklaw Esports. Now they did win the event with a little bit of a different roster to their usual brigade. Of course Zappi and Buller stayed, but they were joined by who appeared, I believe, in the leagues as a pickup last season, alongside Alfune and Heliox. So congratulations to Blacklaw. They won 3-0 in the finals to take home first place at the Gamer G Open. But that's not the only LAN event taking place this week. Of course, the Amsterdam Lions came out on top in the Red Bull Striders Finals. The Red Bull Striders Finals, held in conjunction with Da Vinci Events, has been an event going on in the past few months. We've had 2 qualifiers in which 2 teams came out on top on March 9th and the May 11th. And of course, June 22nd is when those all-important finals took place. The Amsterdam Lions came out on top amongst Delaware, Good Life Esports and Tomahawk Esports. They, Rico, Gizzy, Varsities, Rubsicles and Timo all get to go to EG Malta 3.0 in December. So congratulations to them on being the Red Bull Striders Finals champions. Okay, so let's talk about Rostermania. Now, we're going to go through each move one by one because, again, there's quite a lot of them. This is Call of Duty and teams are moving around. They're shifting their rosters ahead of CWL Finals. But we're going to kick things off by talking about 2 big pickups for organisations this week. Of course, that's Afame GG and Encrypted Gaming. And at Afame, if you remember them from the CWL Anaheim Open, they fielded 2 teams there. One got top 16, one top 24. They're looking to better that this time around with a British team with Shawnee, J-Rezi, Dexity, Afro and Wardy. Now I know Afro, really good player from Future Gaming, and of course Shawnee, you'll know him from Fuego Gaming, had a great showing in the Anaheim Open bracket itself. So this is looking like a promising roster. Afame looking to better that top 16 placing and potentially get into CWL champs for this year. And on the other side of things, you've got Encrypted Gaming, a roster of old players and new, of course. Theory and Goonjar together for the first time since champs 2018 there with Lightning Pandas. They got top 12. Of course, Goonjar recently removed from Evil Geniuses this year. So it's going to be an interesting roster there. They're joined by Happy, TCM and Pacer. So they too are looking for a spot at champs when it comes to CWL Finals on July 19th to the 21st. Alright, so let's kick things off with who's been dropped. So we're kicking off with Moose and Nova. Starting with Moose, of course, you may remember him from CWL Anaheim, ex-pro player. Was playing on the Fierce Esports roster that got top 8 there. Now, technically speaking, 3 players have officially left that roster now. Traudy has gone, as has Linny. We'll get to him in a moment. Moose being the 3rd now. You kind of get the picture at the very least that Fierce Esports have got a roster together, given Moose tweets. At the very least, he's not happy about it. Moving on though, we have Nova. He has been dropped from Mazer Gaming, and as you can tell by the tweets on your screen, he's not too happy either. So scummed over, as it were, scummed about. So Nova and Moose will be looking for homes, and hopefully they do get them ahead of those all-important CWL Miami finals from June 19th to 21st. But now let's take a look at some further roster moves to do with those North American teams. After their top 16 finished in the Anaheim Open bracket, Sage Esports are continuing to lose players to Rostermania. After losing Glow Frosty last week, this time around they're losing Gorgo Knight to free agency and Super to Aspire Esports. You must think again that Sage Esports will have a roster ready and raring to go ahead of those Miami finals, but they will need to get one together soon. But let's have some good news, shall we? We do have two teams starting to form, full of superstars ahead of CWL Miami. Of course, Tommy had already announced his intentions to team with Linny last week. However, Chino, XG2 and Enigma 6-star is joining the already strong lineup to round out the squad. They'll still be looking for 2 Sorgs, as says in the tweet. But of course, that's not the only announcement to be made. Shawnee and Barnes have announced that they are looking for free to play at Miami at Champs. Of course, if you do remember, Shawnee played for Reciprocity this season, recently removed for Alex, and of course Barnes removed from that unit squad with their massive overhaul recently. So the top AM teams from Europe are looking incredibly strong now ahead of Miami. Now we're going to end Rostermania this week on 2 massive bombshells that have huge ramifications for both the Pro League and the Open bracket. So if you cast your minds back to last week, of course, we saw Heretics pick up Vortex for the Pro League, but there was a bit of backstory behind it. So they actually dropped Sukri, but they were looking for Yakko. Now, as I understand it, the reports were that Yakko's buyout was too large for Heretics. They didn't want to pay it, so they didn't do it, and as a result, they got Vortex in. Now we're seeing ramifications of that with the Vodafone Giants. They're picking up Sukri for CWL Miami. That leaves Yakko in a very, very precarious position as he sits on the bench, unlikely to play at Miami and at Champs. So you got to imagine how different that could have possibly been. Then, of course, we move on to Gen G. Now, albeit this is technically speaking a pro team, it does affect the amateur scene in a way. We see Spacely come back, no pun intended, onto the Pro League, rejoining it after being dropped earlier in the season. Now, Nagafen has been benched because of it. Now, Nagafen, very surprised by this. He's annoyed as well. You can kind of tell by his tweets on the situation. This may leave Nagafen in a pretty scary position. I have no doubt that he'll get a roster for Miami, and of course, therefore, for Champs, they will absolutely qualify. However, he no longer has that security. Spacely, however, rather fortunate. He's back where he belongs in the Pro League, so congrats to him on rejoining Gen G. However, that's going to be it for Rostermania for this week. Now let's take a look and round out the show with an update on the Esports Universe Summer Cup and the EEG CEL. Alright, and to round out the show, we're just going to be running you guys through some quick updates to do with the EU Amateur Leagues. So, of course, those are the Esports Universe Summer Cup and the EEG CEL Season 3. As you can see on your screen, you saw Legion Gaming take down Void 3-1 in the Esports Universe Summer Cup. Joining them was Radiant V1 taking down Socially Esports. Those are the 2 on-screen games for week 1. Then in the EEG CEL Season 3, the on-screen games this week went down yesterday, and of course we had Martial Punishment taking down Revive Nation 3-0, and Buzzkill Esports lost their open pool matchup, as you can see on screens, 3-2 to the Portuguese-English matchup in FTW Esports. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you did like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me if you guys do support my videos. I'm doing this for everybody out there to support the amateur scene. If you want to provide any feedback, please do so via my DMs on Twitter. You can follow me at InfinityBL, or you can DM me on Discord. That's Infinity #3285. Next week we will have another amateur roundup coming, so don't worry. There's going to be every single week. I'm going to be rounding up the week's news in amateur Call of Duty esports, and we're going to have some announcements very, very soon regarding some podcasts coming exclusively to the channel, so I'm really excited to bring that content to you guys. Thank you for the support so far again to everyone on my videos. That's going to be it for today, and we'll see you guys in the next one.